Greetings and salutations, my friend. So glad you could join us. It's rather chilly tonight, isn't it? There must be something in the air. Come, let's get you inside and warmed up. You'll be delighted to know that I just pulled a pumpkin pie out of the oven, an old family recipe. Ah, pumpkin pie was Georgie's favorite. Oh, right. You wouldn't know who that is. Georgie Porgie, everyone called him, was an old acquaintance of mine. Tragic, really. He was always looking for love in all the wrong places. They actually made a song about him and his exploits. I think it went, Georgie Porgie, pudding pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgie ran away. You see, George Paulson, otherwise known as Georgie Porgie, certainly had his luck with women. He was handsome, well-liked, and charming. All the women around town would call to him Georgie Porgie pudding pie as he would pass them on the street, and he would blow them kisses as he walked by. Yes, Georgie was quite the ladies' man. Unfortunately, he had his eye on only one, Carla Francisco. The problem was, she belonged to a local mobster, Bobby the Butcher he went by, who wasn't too keen on sharing anything, let alone his woman. Georgie and Carla would meet every weekend in the next town over, find a cheap motel, give fake names and pay in cash, doing their best to cover their tracks. Carla would tell Bobby that she was going to stay with her mother for the weekend. Every weekend they'd spend together, Carla would say how she longed for release of her forced relations with Bobby, and how she wished her and Georgie could run away together. Well, one night, Georgie called and told her to pack a bag because they were going to skip town. He said that he had been secretly saving up money and had a place for them to stay for a while, far away from Bobby. She excitedly began to pack her things, but just as she was on her way out, she found Bobby standing at the door, flowers in hand. Apparently he had thought to surprise her and take her out. Of course, when he saw all the bags she had, he himself was surprised. That's an awful lot of stuff just to go over your mother's for the weekend, he said. And she stammered, "Oh, Bobby, I thought you were going to be busy all week, so I was going to stay longer." And Bobby paused for a moment and turned away from her. "So what's his name?" he asked. "Who?" Carla said. "The dead man that you've been seeing," Bobby said coldly. Georgie nearly jumped out of his skin when he heard the knock at the door. He wondered why Carla had been so late and why she wasn't answering her phone. He swung the door open to greet his lover, only to be met with a bat across the head, knocking him out cold. When he awoke, he was seated at a table in some restaurant he didn't recognize. Across from him was Bobby, smiling eerily. "Hi, Georgie," he said. Georgie began to stutter. "Listen, Bobby, Don't worry about it, Georgie. Carla and I had a nice long talk, and we agreed that our relationship had come to an end. I just wanted to bring you here to tell you that there are no hard feelings. I'm going to let you leave here with her first. I'm starving. Let's have some dinner before you go. Do you like shepherd's pie?" Georgie looked down to see a beautifully made pie. "Dig in," Bobby said. Georgie took a bite and shook a little. "It's a little gristly," he said. "It's an old family recipe. Would you like to know how it's made?" Bobby said excitedly. He stood up and told Georgie to follow him to the kitchen. As soon as he opened the door, Georgie was hit in the face with a putrid stench. A few steps inside, he found the source. On the table in the middle of the room was Carla, her right arm and leg severed and skinned, and her stomach ripped open, entrails spilling to the floor. All Georgie could do was scream. He turned to run, but Bobby stood at the door, a butcher knife in his hands. See, my family came from a very poor backwater country where we had to make do with what we had. Find meat where we could. And now I'm going to show you how to make my favorite dish from my family, blood sausage. Oh my, is it that late already? I was just about to prepare a late night snack. Ah well, another time. You'd best be on your way. And do shut the door on your way out, lest you let all the warmth from the fire bleed out into the night.